guys, welcome back. If you can't already tell from my hoodie, we're going to be doing a really fun recipe today. So I got this book a while ago, the Anime Chef Cookbook. I got it at Barnes & Noble because we had a coupon, but you can totally get this on Amazon for like 20 bucks. I'll put a link in the description below if you guys want to get this. So there's a lot of really cute recipes in here, but there was one in particular that I really wanted to try. It's this one, Asuna's steak sandwiches. Those look so good. Oh my gosh. So a while ago we watched SAO and it was pretty good. But what I really liked was the little sandwich scene with Kirito and Asuna. So I really was excited to try this recipe to recreate that. Okay guys, I'm super excited to get into this, so let's get started. Okay, so I guess I'll tell you like a little bit of the backstory of this, of like the whole sandwich scene. But let's start with the first step. So this is a steak sandwich, so we're gonna start with the steak. So let's start by making the marinade. Now, they had just a super simple marinade recipe on here, just olive oil and some spices and stuff like that. But I wanted a little bit of a different marinade, like more, I don't know, like have more ingredients. I printed out this recipe and I'm gonna make the marinade. So the steak that you'll need is a skirt steak. You can just get it at Publix or whatever, just about a pound of that. And then let's get into the marinade. So we're gonna do 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. And I'm just putting it into a Ziploc bag to make it easier. Then I have some coconut aminos. You can also do soy sauce or Worcestershire sauce, however you say that. So we're just gonna go ahead and add 1/4 cup of that. Okay, so I'm gonna pop up the recipe on the screen and just put all of that in a Ziploc bag and like just move it around and stuff, like get it all incorporated. And I'll tell you, while I'm doing this, I'll tell you like a little bit of the story. So if you haven't watched SAO, it stands for Sword Art Online. So basically it was like this really cool video game, and if you die in the video game, you die in real life. So it's kind of like a high stakes video game. But anyway, the main character his name is Kirito, and he finds this other player, Asuna. And at first they're like not enemies, but they're not really friends. But then she makes him a sandwich one day, and then it like disintegrates because he drops it or whatever. But long story short, they become friends, and it's super nice. But yeah, it was just super sweet. So I wanted to like try to recreate that because in the anime, it looked super delicious. I'm not a super huge fan of anime, but there are a few that I like. One that we finished recently was The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. It was so good. Oh my gosh. You guys have to watch it. I'm pretty sure that you can watch it on Netflix. But it's just a really sweet anime, and it's just about like friends and stuff, so it's super sweet and I really like it. Now I'm just going to close this up and give it a nice mix. My skirt steak here, it doesn't look the best. There is a little bit of fat on it, but hopefully the marinade kind of makes it tender. So we're just gonna pop that in there. I have quite a bit. I'm not gonna use all of this on the sandwich. So we'll probably have a little bit extra. So I'm gonna go wash my hands and then kind of like mix that together, and then I'm going to put it in the fridge for about 2 hours, maybe a little longer. Oh, and then I also made this teriyaki sauce. On this recipe online for teriyaki sauce, and I'll pop the recipe up on the screen. Okay, we all know you can't have a sandwich without the perfect bread. And this recipe says that you can just use a regular French bread, like a baguette or something, but just to make it a little bit healthier, because you never know what like they put in stuff at stores. Anyway, just to make it a little bit healthier, it said that I can make this bread recipe that is also in this cookbook. So yeah, I made this bread yesterday, and I'll show you guys how I made that right now. In the book, it said if you wanted to make your own bread, to just half the recipe on page 95, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'll pop the total recipe up on the screen, but it says a cup of warm water, half of a tablespoon, half teaspoon. I'm gonna give this a nice stir. Then just cover the bowl with some cling wrap or towel and stick it in the oven for about 15 minutes. Okay, so now comes the fun part. If you're halving the recipe, it's going to be about 180 grams or 1.5 cups. So add that in. And then we're going to add in half of a teaspoon of just regular salt, of a cup of olive oil. Alright, that is what it looks like before, and then I'm just gonna mix this up super duper quick. So once it looks like this, like it's just a shaggy dough, now we're gonna start kneading it. Just sprinkle some flour on it. It's so cute. It's so warm too. Okay, I'm just gonna put a little bit of flour on top here. Okay, so 15 minutes. Until it's nice and smooth. Alright, so this is what it looks like, and when you press down, it should come up about 80% of the way. After you finish kneading, you can put your dough into a oiled bowl, cover it with a towel, preheat your oven to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it reaches that temperature, turn it off and leave your dough in the oven for about an hour until it doubles. So I just took it out of the oven. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Out and just flatten it a little bit. I have my knife here, so I'm just going to cut it in half. If you did the full recipe, this will probably make about 4. So now I'm just going to take my rolling pin, get some flour from there, and just kind of flatten it out to get any air bubbles out. We're gonna like roll it like that. So yeah, that will be interesting. So we roll it. Our little baguette. It's so cute. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the same thing to this, and then I'll show you guys the next step. I'm just gonna place some parchment paper on a baking sheet. The dough on here, this, and then I'm gonna cover it again. I'm gonna put this back in the oven to let it rest for about 15 to 20 minutes. Egg and some water right here, and I'm just gonna brush that lightly onto the bread. So cute, and that is the perfect size for sandwich bread. And then obviously they will kind of expand while they're baking. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven at 375 for 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so now we're ready to put the steaks onto the grill, or I'm just using a cast iron skillet here. And just place it down. Cook it for about 3 minutes on one side and then flip it over. Just make sure that the meat is cooked to your liking. Now I'm just going to add the teriyaki sauce and then flip it over to the other side and add some more. Now that I've let the meat rest for a little bit, I am going to start cutting it. Okay, so now that we're ready to assemble everything, I'm gonna start by cutting the bread in half, and then I'm gonna toast the inside. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. I don't think I've ever made bread that actually looks like real bread, so that is like pretty awesome. Okay, so now I'm just gonna toast the inside. This is totally optional, but the recipe does call for an omelet. So I'm just making that here, just a couple scrambled eggs, and put that into a pan and then flip it over itself 2 times so that it will kind of have that rectangle shape to fit into the sandwich. So I toasted my bread, and now I'm gonna put some mayonnaise on each slice. And instead, if you wanted to do the teriyaki sauce instead of mayonnaise, you can totally do that too. So the recipe calls for microgreens, but I didn't have a lot, so I'm just going to be using a spring mix, and you can also use lettuce if you want. Okay, so I'm going to take my omelet here and just place it over the microgreens. And then lastly, I'm just going to put the steak on the sandwich. Just for some extra flavor, I'm going to add some more teriyaki sauce. There we go. A perfect Asuna steak sandwich. Now I'm just going to cut this in half. Oh my gosh, that looks so delicious. All right guys, I don't know about you, but I am super duper ready for a taste test. All right. That's actually pretty good. I really love that teriyaki flavor. I do think the steak could be a little more tender, but that is super good. So good. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have a chance to make these. It was so much fun and I really enjoyed it. So I hope you guys make these too. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below about your favorite anime. And also, if you want me to make any more recipes from the Anime Chef Cookbook. See ya!